with notice intent for 6-8 Grove Street, demolition of existing residence and construction of street showing multi-use building.
Yeah, so we need to continue that one. And can someone pass me the revised agenda? Oh, the one that's not.
You want this?
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that is continued until March 25th. So we just need to vote to do that continuance.
So we have a motion to continue the appointment to March 25th.
So move. Second.
That's an aye.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Jen and I.
Marcella, I.
Mike, aye.
Thank you. It's unanimous vote of the committee. One time, Mary.
We got
8 o'clock, I put it at 8 o'clock
Okay.
in case, because it seems like we're wanting to continue the class.
What do we want to do now, Chris?
Do you have something to fill in?
Yeah.
Yeah, regional board.
How about administrator's report?
All right, so I did not do a lot of site visits because of the snow.
Really?
Uh,
Did we make an official policy about that? Do you want us to do that? You mentioned it,
oh, about the
about not.
not approving wetland delineations. Yeah, no, we didn't do that yet,
Well,
and I
I
haven't.
should do that for you. You can't. You shouldn't even have to go out and look. Call me when the ground is bad, I'll be right there,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, we could
whatever.
think like that together. Yeah.
Cause we could get caught in that, so.
Right. Yeah.
Get
Like,
caught in a deadline or something.
well, we have one right now, 81 Tackle. We're gonna do that one later. No, I had seen it before the snow came, so I'm kind of comfortable and it's a septic and stuff. But yeah, there's other ones where there's no way.
Yeah.
All right, so a lot of people in and out of the office the last few weeks. People remember number 1 Barber's Path, that had been a tree cutting that was kind of an enforcement situation. They came in wanting to finish that out. They had planted the trees, but they had still have certificate of compliance for that. So we're gonna look at that in the spring. So that they were around. And then, all right, so you guys know there's been a few new houses going in near Mechanic Street in West Main, those 3 new houses. So the engineering firm called today with questions about the fees. So I guess the plan for the rest of that property is like a senior housing development with
Yeah, I was wondering if that was going in. Is it going in there?
It's going in there, so it'll be off, the access will be off Mechanic Street.
It's good thing's gonna go in across from the Dodds house. You go over towards Meadow Drive, is that it?
Yeah, it's like it goes south.
Yeah.
Yeah,
comes in
so that
south.
wooded area, it's gonna go through that little wooded area.
Yeah, it's gonna be wooded, looks like 8 duplexes, so it's kind of a lot.
Dense.
It is kind of dense. I don't know. They obviously have to go through the planning board. I don't know what the plan, but it's not like a 40B. You're doing this standard.
Hey, Kathy mentioned where the entrance and the exit is gonna be. She didn't think they had a good sight line there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, somebody else thinks they do, so.
Well, I don't know that there's anywhere else they can access it. Yeah, we'll see how that, and there's riverfront area and everything, so. It's gonna be, we were talking about the fees. The fees are gonna end up being quite a lot for that because.
Never mind, that's not.
Yeah, exactly. And then another enforcement that's been kind of on the back burner, 22 Eames Lane, he stopped by to actually purchase the markers for the bounds, but he obviously hasn't put the bounds in yet. Can't put them in anytime soon. And then we'll talk about 41 Crockett Road later, and that's my only pictures in my report. I am working on trying to get something on town meeting for updated stormwater. So I've been kind of going through and reading all the towns around what they have for their limits. Our threshold is 20,000 square feet to trigger this big, large stormwater review. Most towns are 1 acre. I did find one other town, Natick has the 20,000. Shrewsbury has 5,000, but I didn't read theirs closely enough to know what exactly.
Yeah, really.
That's really low.
That's like right in the city.
Right, well, of course, I think both Natick and Shrewsbury, they have much smaller lots, so it's a different situation than we are. Every single town around us is a 1 acre instead of the 20,000. So. Anyway, that's just a preview. I'm gonna try to put something together.
Does the state have any recommendation?
No, I don't know that it does, but MACC conference, they're having a little thing on stormwater bylaws, one of the sessions, so I'm gonna go to that. That's at the end of February, I think. So after that, maybe I think I'll feel prepared to at least bring something to you guys for you to look at. And you guys can think about, I feel like the 20,000 is too low, but
Yeah.
an acre, a lot of people seem to have an acre.
Everybody's doing an acre.
Yeah, I think it seems to make sense.
Certainly for up to.
Yeah. Not although with these little developments coming in. How many years until we're Natick? That is pretty much it, I think. Oh, yeah, I actually have a question. Got a question from Cassandra, I think she's a time bond, about the Fowler Street culvert. They're putting together to redo it. And they want to do geotechnical borings, right? It sounds like in the shoulder of the road as part of their preparatory work. And we want to know if they need an RDA for that. That was kind of like, I think that the borings are exempt under the law, depending on the situation, it's minor activity. So I think we could just tell them no, but. But it's
Is that the culvert by Sandy's house you're talking
I
about?
think she's talking about the bridge. We call
Oh,
it
the bridge.
Maybe they call it a
Okay,
Well, actually, and maybe they're talking about the one, actually, it's on Fowler Street, a little bit down from you. Like 0.2 of a mile down.
oh, past the bridge,
Yeah,
that one, yeah,
On
that
the
one
foot of
there,
the hill by
yeah,
the new people there.
yeah,
okay,
so I
yeah,
think,
that, yeah.
okay, so you guys are okay with that?
Yeah.
So there's no RDA needed.
And this is, Bill, arguably they're doing the work for the benefit of the town, so may fall
Right.
under our townwide NOI anyway.
That's a good point.
What did he say?
That it, because it's for DPW, then it would fall under the town general permit.
No, make our life easy.
Yeah, that's right. Great. I think that's it.
Good job. Good job, Mary. So is it 7:15?
7:11.
So a few
4
minutes.
Oh, do we have, minutes?
I think we're.
Yeah, we can do this really quickly. Let me just share my screen. And we'll start with the minutes. I had forgotten to send out the minutes from January 14th at the meeting on the 28th. So here are the minutes from the 28th. I can also pull up the minutes from the 14th if anyone needs to be reminded. But did everyone get a chance to look at those?
Yeah, they look fine.
Okay, good.
Anyone have a question on minutes from the 14th or the 20th? So could we have a motion to approve the minutes from the 14th of January?
So moved. Second.
And the other ones,
Yeah, the 28th.
14 and
We'll
28.
do one at a time. Okay, Chris, I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I. Marcella, I.
Right, and then
Um,
there's just one voucher that has to be approved. It has some snow plowing, a legal ad, and a community garden water bill. And the total is 557.
This is Bill. I have a comment about the snow expense.
Mhm.
That can be expensed to the snow removal account
Mm.
because it's snow removal. And I
Okay.
confirmed that with Dennis earlier this week. I thought it had been paid already, otherwise I would have notified you earlier.
We did pay one for 125.
Yeah, that one I think we should just let go. But this one here, since we know now that we should, and I can send you the account number.
Okay.
Or,
Sounds good.
or you know what, I'm just going to pay it because I have a whole host of other snow expenses on my voucher.
Okay. So we can take that one off, and then if everyone approves it, just use Chris's stamp on the new one. Or maybe just scratch that off entirely and use the same voucher. We'll see.
So moved. Second.
Okay, let's do voice vote. Chris, I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I. Marcella, I.
Mike, I.
That's unanimous vote of the commission. And we need to go back to the minutes from the 28th of January. No motion to fulfill.
So moved. Second.
Okay, voice vote. Chris, I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I. Marcella, I.
Mike, I.
Okay, yes, vote of the commission.
Awesome. And then here's the balance sheet real quick. Not much has changed. We are expecting to pay about 1,000 for the Sweet William Farm sign. We got the quote, but not an official invoice yet. And I think that's all from me.
Okay, do you have a motion to approve our financial?
So moved. Second.
Let's do voice vote. Chris, I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Shannon, I. Marcella, I.
Mike, I.
It's unanimous vote of the commission. Thank you, Shannon and Lauren.
11:15.
Okay, now, we're ready for 7:15. A request for information from Brooklyn 30 Pearl Street for information of subject signal from January 28th.
Great. I believe we have Vito here to represent this. We had looked at this last time, but there was no one available. They were still shoveling out from the storm. And so, but I did talk with them since the last meeting, and they have added the 30-foot buffer to the plans. And we need to think about where bounds might go. I think that's the remaining items. Vito, would you like to share the plans, or shall I do that?
I can do that. Let me just. All right. And there we go. Yep. So the only thing we added was just that 30-foot no disturb zone, and then we added a note just saying 5 to 6 bounds placed along the 30-foot buffer, except in those locations where maybe the lawn or other structures are closer than 30 feet. You know, like we have the house, and then there's some lawn in the back. And we just noted that that would be coordinated with the commission and approved by them prior to installation. I don't know if that's a way we can condition it. It's a little tough right now to see on the ground where exactly you might want to place them. But if we leave it up to, you know, everything get approved through you as a condition, hopefully that would work.
Think that'll work. And just when the snow's gone in the spring or whatever.
Do you have comments?
No, I guess the only question is there is existing on the upper side of the picture there is existing lawn which goes, they have the tree line there. And there's this 30-foot line, so I think we probably want to run the bounds along the tree line, or they have had that lawn there for quite a while. As long as the board's okay with that. But further down and back behind the house, they're not really maintaining that so much as lawn, so I think the bounds can go closer to the house there.
Mhm. Yeah, this is a little kind of overgrown down in here.
Yeah,
But that's, yeah, more manicured up in this area. Yep.
right,
Any discussion?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as everybody's okay with that.
Yep, sounds good.
So I think we're ready, pretty much ready to issue the negative determination.
Mia, would you like to close?
Would you like to close your hearing?
Yep, that'd be great. Yep, thank you.
Should,
So a negative determination, for this septic system. And, I think I said, the wetland line is not confirmed because it's not covered, but I'll put that in the spring.
Yeah, condition, yeah.
do we have motion?
So moved. Second,
Okay, voice vote, Chris, aye.
Tom, I.
Sandy, I.
Anna and I. Marcella, I.
Mike, aye.
That's a yes, so the question. And Mary will have, it's the determination, right? And she'll let you know.
Yeah. Vita, do you know what their timeline is for getting started on this?
I think they do want to start fairly quick.
Okay,
Just because it is in failure, so
okay.
yeah. I know kind of delayed with some of the weather, but probably as soon as that breaks, they probably want to get started.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. Maybe we can get those bounds in at that time too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, 725, request for determination, A1 Tap Street, construction of a septic system for a proposed ADL.
We have to wait a few minutes,
Oh,
just a few minutes.
Thank you anyway. All right, good night.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
night, thank you.
Updates from anybody?
how about overseas,
Open space.
overseas update? Is that
Yeah, so I have the donation of the land in Upton from the family in Grafton. I have submitted the paperwork to the town council to draft a deed for that. He suggested we get a title report, and I'm going to need some money for that. And does the Open Space Committee actually have a little pot of money on the balance sheet?
Lauren, I'll pull that up, I guess.
Yeah, that's not.
I think that land stewardship has a good amount. I'm not sure if open space does. I think they have some money through the conservation expense account.
Okay, so I guess then what I would ask that we fund the title search, which I think would probably be $300 to $500 with conservation fund money. I think we're going to be able to rely on an existing plan. So I don't think we're going to have any engineering costs, but I need to confirm that with the council.
It looks like open space has 500 through the Concom expense account. So that
All
would be
right, so
perfect.
actually, I'll use that for the title. And I'll get the open space committee to approve that expense. So I'm good. And I know that MLT and SVT are continuing to work with our town council to try to resolve the issue of the restriction on the deed for the Forest Heights land, which is the if it gets subdivided, a trust gets a plot a lot. And I haven't been engaged in those conversations. So Mike, if you wanted to add anything to that, go ahead, please.
Sure. Well, we're trying to get speaking here for Metacomment, Medicom and SVT are trying to get a meeting with town council and Medicom, its attorney, to figure out path forward. We're hoping to have that meeting next week. We've proposed some days that we can meet next week with town council. So stay tuned on that. Yeah, thing, well, Bill, I don't know if you want to mention what you found out about the trustee.
Yeah, so I was doing some research on the trust and discovered that the trustee or the trust who signed the extension of that restriction passed about 3 weeks ago. So the trust has 3 trustees, and I think at this point, at least temporarily, 2 of them are going to be lawyers that were hired when the trust was created. But in any case, it may complicate matters. It conceivably could make things easier. I don't know.
I'll have a little bit more to say about Forest Heights later, but that's it for now, for me.
And that's it for me, though. One quick thing. I mentioned to the superintendent today that we would like the Stephens Farm lot plowed, and we went out and did it. So it's accessible now.
Thanks.
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Ike.
Thank
So-
you, Bill.
7:25.
Okay, 7:25, request for determination of applicability A1 tax 3. Construction of a septic system for a proposed AU.
Yeah. I'll read the notice. Our engineer is not here yet. Public hearing notice. Public notice is hereby given in accordance with the Wetlands Protection Act that the Upton Conservation Commission will hold the following public hearing on Wednesday, February 11th at 7:25 p.m. A request for determination of applicability filed by Mark Camp for the construction of a septic system servicing a proposed ADU at 81 Taft Street. All interested parties are invited to participate. Okay. Let's see. No. Right, so here's Taft Street. This house is set pretty far back. Here's the house. There's an existing septic system right here. And I believe they're putting an ADU in their garage that's already existing, but they need a septic system for it. So the new proposed septic system is over here. Now there's wetlands kind of all over the place here. There's a wetland back here that interestingly enough did not show up on, I had the plans for the house when it was originally built. That wetland wasn't shown on that plan, but this wetland was. And so this wetland, but when he submitted the septic plan, he only had this one on the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I found that and I did look at it before the snow came and asked him to get it delineated. So we got it delineated. It's pretty, septic system is still pretty far from it. I believe it's, I haven't, which I'll pull up in a minute, but like, I believe it's 60 to 70 feet or more at the closest point. This is the 50-foot line here. And the septic itself, like, it's just this corner that's actually within a 100-foot buffer. It's just the grading that's going to go into the buffer zone. At the moment, pretty much everything in the 100-foot is trees. So they're going to have to cut some trees down for this. It's not entirely in pre-existing lawn. And let's see if we can look at the stuff. So they have straw wattles. They need to remove trees. yeah, it's not subject to the bylaw. So I think the main question is going back to where, if we would want bounds with this and where they would go.
So is all woods behind the septic system?
Back here,
Back, yeah. is it
that's all woods. This, he doesn't really show the tree line, but behind the house there's a pretty, like, here's a shed. This is all lawn. And even, I think what's interesting is, you know, this house was built and they were not showing the wetland. So the house actually is relatively close to this wetland over here. So it's almost like but of course the property line's here, so maybe you don't really need bounds on that side. But this is the 50-foot. So the 30 does go onto their property, and this section is kind of, it's not lawn all the way up to the edge. So you could put like maybe one bound there. And then on this side, maybe you'd only need 2 or 3. I'm not sure. I don't know that you would need it going all the way because, you know, this whole area is woods. You know, the driveway comes in. So a little, you know, the lawn is kind of this area.
So is it a new septic or are they tying into the old?
Right. So I think the old septic is still good.
Where is it?
It's right over here.
Oh, all right.
And then, but they had to put a new one in to support the ADU.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have 2 septics on property.
I mean, where does it make sense to put bounds here? I can't tell from looking at this really.
I would think. Well, and the thing is, we wouldn't put them at the 30, I don't think, because it's, you know, this is like 75 feet right here, so maybe we don't need to put bounds on the side, I don't know. And we might want to just put one over here at the 30. You know, else. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, the wetland on the lower part is off the property, right? It's off the property.
Yes, this wetland is off the property.
That's probably why to get delineated.
Yeah.
Oh. Can't see.
Marcella, it looks like you figured out how to draw on it.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's funny, that's great. I didn't know you could say where to bounce. That's fun.
Or is she drawing on it?
Yeah.
I touched the wrong thing.
I accident.
Yes.
I would be open to letting you,
Okay.
because I don't know if anyone else is, but
Well, do you
I
guys,
can't tell from looking at this with a plate.
right, do you guys want bounds on this one?
If you think they ought to be there,
I don't know, it's really up to you guys. I think, you know, could, there would be a way.
I think bounds are generally good because this protects, you know, future property owners.
Yeah. Great.
I like bounds.
Mary, what's your feel? Yeah, where they should go.
I can show you the area if that's helpful.
So Mary, that property line, is that just the property line? No stone walls or anything there? The one,
yeah,
the wetland towards the bottom left.
yeah, let me share my screen if this is helpful. Well, you can look at the aerial photo. All right, so here's the house. The septic is going in here. This other wetland is kind of in here. This area, and it's actually, I mean, it almost, when I walk the property, it almost looks like the wetland kind of goes way around like that. But I wasn't sure, so, and all they delineated was this side. So I think you could put one, maybe one down here. And then maybe 2 or 3 over here. Because this is an intermittent stream that goes all the way down. There.
that seems to make sense.
Okay. Alright.
minutes.
I'm a little surprised that they didn't show up because they were so back and forth with, oh, yes.
Yeah, figure out how to do it.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Maybe they sent me an email. Do you guys want to keep it open? I mean, I don't think they're starting anytime soon.
No.
COVID, sorry.
Yeah.
So, do any other discussion? You're none. Can someone of the question make a motion to close the hearing?
So moved. Second.
Okay, and let's do a voice vote. Chris, I.
Online.
Ellen, I.
Sandy, I.
And I. Marcella, I.
Okay.
Okay, that's what that's so other question.
And then do you want to go ahead and issue a negative determination?
What numbers?
3, and the well in line again is not confirmed because of the snow.
Okay. And we'll let you figure out where the balance should be.
Okay. Did you guys vote on that?
Yeah.
You voted to close, but did you vote on issuing?
Motion to issue determination.
So moved.
Second.
Voice vote, Chris, I.
Online.
Ellen, I.
Sandy, I.
And I.
Okay.
Well, I.
Okay.
Okay, yes, vote to close the hearing, issue a negative determination. Okay, and how about the last switch up?
And stewardship.
Land stewardship, anybody?
Yeah.
Can't be doing much this time of year.
Couple things. This is about the Robertson Trail Bridge. CPC discussed funding for that bridge at its meeting last week or first week in February, and they voted to support an additional $35,000 for the bridge. However, there's a caveat there.
Mike, could you speak up?
Wasn't the,
Sorry. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. All right. So the caveat was Kathy Robertson may allow the trail to go on her property, which would eliminate the need for a bridge entirely. So when the snow melts, we'll go take a look out there and see if that could possibly work for her. I'm not sure how close it would be to her house. We'll have to take a look at that, and there might be additional wetlands that would have to be crossed for that to work. Maybe not. But anyway, as a placeholder right now, CPC approved an additional $35,000 for the trail bridge. That would still leave us short a fair amount. Probably at least $15,000 short, possibly more. I think that's it for stewardship. Yeah, I think that's it. Marcel, unless you can think of anything.
No,
Um,
not for me. Thank
I'm
you.
not sure. We do have a couple Boy Scout projects in the works. A boardwalk at Stephens at Peppercorn, excuse me, and possibly some Kestrel nest boxes at Stephens. But let you know more as those progress.
thank you. Okay, how about,
I think we can go ahead because this is not an advertised.
okay, then we have minor modifications. Lot 4, Sawmill, Brooklyn. which is an addition of the swimming pool.
Okay, so I can look at the plans here. So you guys will remember this as a big project off of South Street. I don't know if anybody's driven down there to look at it, but it's the way I can say it in a while since it's snowing. And, this is number 4. This is not most revised. They find most revised. Anyhow, they're planning on putting a swimming pool in, so we're just gonna need to get some revision to the city.
Is it well?
Hmm?
Is it private?
Yeah, this works.
Yeah,
So we have low competition with a vacuum cleaner.
yeah, we do. Yeah. That's what it should be. Yeah. This is starting. It's took me a while to navigate. All right, so the good thing about showing you the other one is you can see what it was. Here is the edge of limit of work, and the erosion control line. So they've added a pool in here and a greenhouse. The 100-foot buffer, I believe, is this line here. There's a lot of lines on these plans. 100-foot buffer line. The vernal pool is way over here. There's a vernal pool, I think the vernal pool buffer goes along the erosion control line. So the pool is within the 100-foot buffer of the wetland, but that's the only thing that's there. So, and then we're hoping to put a greenhouse as well. And this has the final shape on the house. We have Lisa, the homeowner here, and Rick as well, if there's any questions or concerns.
Good evening, everyone.
And I'm there. Anything you want to add, Rick?
No, Mary just summed it up. Exactly, just looking to put a pool in and a greenhouse.
Could the greenhouse be moved out of the 100-foot?
The client was hoping to have it located over there, mostly for like sun direction. You know, as we've discussed through this process, you know, we're away from the 50 good distance from the 50-foot buffer zone. You know, our limit of work is at really dark hash mark. But so yes, the client was hoping to have the greenhouse located right around that location.
So if they moved it, Rick, just a little bit on this to the left, that would affect the sun.
Well, I think she was just hoping to have, you know, they've given it some great thought to this location. It's not that they just want to put it within the 100-foot buffer. It's just this is kind of what they've settled on. And if you you know, if you feel as though it doesn't make any sense there, you know, we're listening. But I'm not sure, you know, maybe Mary can add to this. Is this something that, you know, is outside the, you know, a typical, you know, we're under the understanding that it was a 50-foot buffer is typically where like a pool or even a greenhouse, like a shed, because it's 120 square feet or less, could be located here. So just if you if that's not right, let me know.
Yeah, so this is a little, because that it's not, this house isn't built yet. All right, so it's a little bit tricky. So originally I told them they needed an amendment because there were changes to the plans, and the engineer said, well, everything is outside. So if you're building something more than 50 foot away from the wetland in previously disturbed area, and if it's a pool or like a shed, it's exempt under the Wetlands Protection Act. So, but in this case, like nothing's built yet, but we have an approved plan. So I said, okay, you're right, we don't need an amendment for this, but Chris said, well, please come before the board anyway. So I think that's where they're, the 50, if it were within 50 foot, they would absolutely need an amendment. And, but in this case, it's going to be grass. The portion where it's going is going to be grass anyway. So
Oh, so that's gonna be lawn.
that's going to be lawn. So this is the limit of work, the edge of the disturbed area. There's all the trees are beyond okay. And this is the trees have already all been removed. It was going to be lawn, but now it's going to be a pool and a greenhouse. So that I should have maybe clarified that. So it's true, it's a slight increase in impervious area in the buffer zone, but other than that, it's not that much. It's not that different. So
How big is the greenhouse?
Yeah, it's about 100, like, it's no bigger than 120 square feet.
Oh, by town?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I don't care, it's fine.
Should the plan show a fence around the pool, safety fence?
Yeah, we haven't finalized the architectural, the landscape design, exactly where that fence is going to go, but the fence does not go within the buffer, that we have drawn. Does that make sense, Mike?
Well, after the buffer goes right through the pool,
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to be within the 50
Oh,
foot.
I'm sorry, I mean the no disturb.
what I thought.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Fine with me.
Any other discussion? Okay, would you like to close this
It's just a discussion.
session?
yeah, so just I told her just a motion to, approve this minor modification, and then I'll send them an email or a letter just verifying it. You guys looked at it.
Okay, you have a motion to approve the minor modification.
So moved.
Second,
Let's go with Chris and I.
Tom, on.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Dan and I. Marcella, I.
Mike, aye.
Okay, that's a minutes for the commission. And Mary will write the letter for you about the minor change of the minutes. So, Rick, you're all set.
Thank you very much. You guys have a great evening.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Okay, now,
Unfortunately, this extension, she asked to be on later because she's got kids to put to bed. So
Listen, you can do the other stuff.
we'll get through everything else.
okay, so we have the car road work in the conservation area. That's what Mary wrote a letter.
Yeah. Okay, I can pull the letter up. I hope everybody read it. Recent site, I'm just jumping into the middle. A recent site visit confirmed that trailers, logs from trees recently cut, portions of fence and pallets and other items are being stored on public land. The logs appear to be from trees that were removed from your property sometime fall of 2025. In addition to the logs, there's a pile of wood chips that has been dumped up the street, which may not be related, but is also an encroachment on town land. These encroachments violate, these different laws. All right, so I think I said in an email, I got parts of, we don't have a standard letter for this kind of encroachment. So I just tried AI and they shot out some of this wording. And so it was nice. But one of the things they said was failure to remove the encroachment may result in the DPW removing all this stuff at your expense. And I don't know whether the DPW actually does this.
That's Bill.
But Bill, what do you think?
Geez.
Probably not.
Well, so I guess certainly to the extent that some of it's in the right of way.
Right.
And it's the sort of thing I think we would do if, for example, trees had fallen naturally.
Right.
So,
Oh, is
am
Shannon.
I-
well, you know what I would say is result in the town removing the obstruction.
Yeah, I was going to even say that result in the Conservation Commission removing the obstruction. It's not really a DPW problem if
Right.
it's
Okay.
if it's not in a right of way.
I think that saying that it will be removed at like by the town at your expense would still work, because then the town, whoever they pay, whether that's DPW or a private company, it's still covered.
Thank you.
Could say it may result in the town of Upton taking action to remove the obstruction at your expense.
Very nice. Glad we have her.
Yeah. Send a letter off to you, Shannon.
With an AI.
Good legal advice.
I'm not above using AI, but I always tweak it.
AI is taking notes on you, Shannon. Just
That's
They're
right.
stealing our
It's
job.
going to be incorporated in the big picture.
And actually, let me just show you in my report, just the different piles of logs. Not stop the share.
Piles of snow.
Yeah, I feel like it's actually improved. So I don't know, maybe we want to give them a little bit more time.
Think he's working on it?
Well, see what you can tell from these pictures. It's kind of hard to tell with snow. So this is what it was before the snow, clearly a ton of logs. And with the snow, it looks like he may have gotten rid of half of it. It looks like there's only a few more logs left, but it's kind of hard to tell. So, but still, they all need to go. So, and the trailers have been there for a long time. So he's doesn't have a lot of space across the street, but I imagine he'll find a place somewhere.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Go parking on somebody else's lawn.
Yeah. Right. And I think the other thing to notice here, not it's a huge deal, is, they're going back there doing something. There's a little trail back in there. And they could just be accessing the land, but. So. And again, the wood chip piles are still there as well. All right, so do we want to, with the suggested modifications, we're going to send this letter?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you need a motion? Yeah, okay, we have a motion to send Mary's letter with the minor modification.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, listen, all in favor? Chris, aye.
Aye.
Alan, I.
Sandy, aye.
And I.
Marcella, I.
like
Thank you, Mary, for writing the letter. So they meant unanimous vote with
This is Bill. I think it probably a good idea to at least give the interim town manager a heads up
Yeah.
that you're sending the letter, just so if the individual contacts town hall, he's ahead of it.
Yeah, good idea. We are appointees after all.
Okay, we have 250-year anniversary of Declaration of Independence event. Well, we'd like to do something town.
What's the town gonna do?
We're asking the different groups,
And they haven't got a plan yet?
not yet. You want to ask them what? Mine.
I think it would be great to present something along the lines of like the history of like conservation through Upton. like over the years, like the, you know, the different parks and like the just the major things that have happened over time. I think that would be great for people to see.
That's a good idea, Shannon.
Could have some litter bags made for people's cars with the 25th anniversary, whatever.
Yeah,
Too bad.
we can stand on streets and when people throw their things out, we can use it. I don't know if that's gonna work.
If it's just a freebie.
Yeah.
We have.
Gotta have
worked on the
something
history.
somewhere.
We can work on the history of that's me.
They're probably gonna have something downtown, some tables and stuff.
Maybe they'll have a parade. What do you think?
Probably.
Maybe we could. Remember when they had those little sprigs of trees?
Oh, yeah.
We could dress up like trees.
You could dress up like a tree. I'll be a shrub.
Okay.
Like the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yeah, that was, yeah.
Okay, so we'll keep thinking on that. And yeah,
Do you think there are any 250-year-old trees, a tree or a tree in Upton?
I think the last one came down was on Main Street, came down maybe 20 years ago.
All right, so we don't have a 250-year-old tree we can point to?
We might.
We might
I
still,
was thinking of that really large oak at Steffens, if it's still alive.
How can we tell how old it is without cutting it down?
for it.
Maybe drill a hole in it?
It's a little thing and it comes out and you've got a whole tube, all the rings, and you just count them.
Sounds
they do the ice cores, you see the layers, so here you see each
Yeah,
ring is a layer.
We had to do it all the time.
Really?
Yeah. And find out how old things are, and how they're growing.
How about the big maple on Main Street?
You know, one in my backyard that's giant white oak. It's a wolf tree, giant wolf tree.
Well, we'll have more ideas as the time comes by.
And how about Forest Heights, Mike?
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
There's a couple other things. I don't know if Lauren or can you call up the conservation restriction by any chance, or Mary? It was in the packet.
Yeah, I don't have it pulled up right now, Mary, if it's easier for you. You can. Okay. Thanks.
Anyway, when Mary's pulling up, we've made a few minor edits to it between SVT and Metacomet. It's nothing really substantive has changed, I don't think, but maybe you can kind of scroll through it a little bit real quickly. Yeah, we're just going to be we'll talk about the plan in a minute. We're going to have a new plan to reference. Here's one thing. On leaf-off conditions, the premises provides scenic long-distance views of nearby hills. A little bit of an edit there. Keep going. I think. See. I think this was already a change. Change the wording a little bit here to make it clear that management of the Bonner natural area really is separate entirely from the premises. Added something about indigenous. Here. Change the geological resources a bit. We have found the remnants of at least one mica quarry. And probably the highest or very nearly highest elevation in Upton is a little outcrop that's about 50 feet higher than Pratt Hill, roughly. Keep going. Now this is for the indigenous, our suggested language for indigenous resources. We ended up saying a confidential addendum to the baseline report described, which will be updated as necessary. Just wanted to make sure that people realize that you know, new information might come along years after the CR is recorded. We're getting close to the end. There's one more. When we get to baseline report, I think there was an edit there that. Right. There's a baseline report section. I don't know where that went. If we missed that somehow. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. So we just added that it can be supplemented by as new information becomes available. I think that's that's the last change. So I think we feel this is pretty close to being ready to submit to the state for their final review. We'll probably hold off a bit until this title issue can get resolved. The next thing to show is the plan. We modified the plan, like we've talked about before, to show 2 potential parking areas, one at each corner of the frontage lot. The new one is, and then there's little call-out boxes that show them in more detail. The one that was added is the lower one, and with a 10-foot setback from the property line. But I think that the actual parking lot would be, you know, to the north. You know, there'd be even more of a potential setback from the property line. So that plan is ready to record. It's been signed by the surveyor. So, but I just want to run it by you guys, kind of one last question, you know, ask if you've got any comments on changes to the plan, especially.
Any discussion?
Are we keeping the original parking area A?
Yes,
As-
we're keeping them both as options, which will be decided later.
And will that be kind of like a forever thing? Like 50 years down the road, somebody may decide that that's a better place and disturb the area?
Well, the CR says basically you're gonna have 1 parking area, not 2. So I don't know if for some reason someone wants to abandon 1 parking area and build the other one, I guess they could possibly do that. Not sure I see that happening, but this keeps the options open. You know, the sensitive cultural resources is the one to the north. You know, imagine if an abutter screamed loud enough about the one to the south. You know, the commission could possibly listen. I don't know. But I think it's safer to keep them both for now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You need us to vote on this, Mike?
if you want to, you know, if you want to entertain a motion to recommend recording of the revised plan for Forest Heights.
You have a second?
It's I'm not voting, so I didn't make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
I can't vote for someone, but I'm gonna comment.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Cindy, I.
Jen and I.
Marcella abstain.
Mike abstained.
Enough people?
Yeah, four.
So we have
You're fine.
Gloria, the vote, nothing soon in vote.
Okay, and the last thing about Forest Heights is if either Mary or Lauren, there's a picture of a log pile. Yeah, there it is. So this pile of logs, I count probably around 30 fairly good sized logs are on Forest Heights property. They're along a main cart path, which goes into the property. And I had asked SVT, Kristen, whether or not, she would allow these logs to be relocated, at some point as habitat logs. And, what I was suggesting probably is just like spreading them along. There's a couple of existing cart paths. And if you put one every 50, 75 feet along the paths, you could lose them pretty quickly. She wasn't sure if the CR would actually allow that. So then I asked Vanessa from the state whether she thought the CR would allow that. And Vanessa said, well, it would really be up to the grantees, in other words, SVT and Metacomet. But she wondered, just to avoid a whole issue would be to distribute these logs before the CR was recorded. So that was her suggestion. Just avoid any. So anyway, I just wanted to. Right now, the commission doesn't manage this property. It's it's managed by the select board, but I just wanted to talk to you guys and see if you had any interest in spending, a little bit of some funds to spread these logs around. There's also some stumps that don't show up in this picture, but there's also some stumps that could be spread too.
Do you have a tractor, Mike?
Well, I was thinking of hiring maybe Greg Trussell and his Bobcat. I think they could be distributed without too much damage.
Well, maybe it's maybe it's not.
You could just chain and pull them off the pile.
Yeah. But I have not talked to Greg or anyone else about this, about possibly doing this. I've also not talked to the abutter who probably put these logs here at some point. 200 North Street. They've been super nice about letting us have access to the property. I didn't really want to, raise any kind of a negative issue with them.
Maybe they're saving them for something.
Well, they've been there a long time.
Gonna make a log cabin or something.
Those logs have been there a long time, Sandy. Good night.
Yeah, what state are they in? Are they gonna just break apart when we try to move them?
No. I think they're pretty competent right now.
We should definitely talk to the neighbors if they want to give them the option to do something with them if they want to. But
Is there any wildlife that could be living in there right now?
Probably.
It could be.
So,
There could be.
Snakes in there anyway.
Mike, I guess for me, if you could find out what it would cost to move them, that would be important to me.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to moving them. I just don't want to spend a ton of money to do so.
I would agree with that.
I can, if you guys are so inclined, I could have Greg Trussell take a look at this and get a quote from him. And see, once the snow melts a bit. I don't know. No idea when the CR might be recorded because, like we talked about that title issue is, really needs to be resolved. But, and we do have to record the CR at the latest in the end of June, or Metacomet loses the grant that we have. So,
before we bring Greg out there, we might just talk to neighbors and the select board?
Yeah. I could talk to Dennis about it and the neighbors. Sure. Okay, so any other thoughts on this? And that was the last thing about Forest Heights that I have.
It's our person putting our kids to bed.
Okay, now, MACC have
Just to let people know it's coming up soon. I'm sure most of you are already on the email, but I know Shannon went last year. I reached out to Kiara since she's new, but she has something else going on. So it's a reminder it's coming up.
Okay, and how about Peppercorn fundraiser?
Yeah, I think we talked about this at Land Stewardship, and one of the Land Stewardship members wants to meet with Stephen in a little bit, but they were thinking maybe do everything in April around Earth Day. Might be a nice kind of Earth Day focus. And did anyone else remember anything new besides that?
Do we have to have an actual fundraiser now that they've arrested the person, because we can get restitution for the sign?
Right, yeah, maybe, yeah, we probably don't. I know it was, Stephen's hope to like raise money. But he, maybe it could go towards another town project or something, or it wouldn't have to be a fundraiser.
Yeah, he seems to want to do a presentation. I'm not opposed to stopping him from doing it, but
Right,
if we're going to get restitution,
right,
Well, his presentation will be easier for him if there's not a fundraiser attached to it, because that was gonna be
donations welcome or
complicated.
something, donations welcome for conservation on.
Nation fund.
Well,
Yes,
it makes it a whole lot easier if he just does the presentation. If we've got them, we're getting restitution anyway, that would take a load off of him, and he can just focus on making the
Yeah.
presentation.
So are we getting restitution? Are they?
Well, he has to be tried, right? He's arrested now, but he has to be
Right.
tried. We do have to ask for restitution, so I don't know who in town.
right, so I
Good
did
idea.
reach out to the police chief, and we gave him the quote. Mike had already had a quote to replace the sign.
Yeah.
We gave him the quote, and so he has that information. Imagine it'll take a while before it goes before the judge.
Yeah, and then when you go to the trial, you'll have to write, someone will need to write a letter to the attorney general there, or the district attorney, I guess.
Okay,
And just, state our claim. It doesn't have to be long, it's just, you've got the quote and say, this is what happened, and, this is what we're asking for.
okay, yeah, so I'll check with the
Replace
police chief to see if he's taking care of that or whether to do that.
Yeah, but it won't, it won't come until he's,
Another year?
Yeah.
It's better to do it while it's fresh, give it to the police so they're all set to go.
Yeah.
To come chasing them, say, what? Fine.
Right.
especially with municipal property, it's a lot easier than sort of a regular homeowner suing, trying to get money out of something, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a little more weight there.
how does that sound legally, Shannon?
What?
How does that sound legally?
What?
Yeah.
Waiting it out? I mean, I think there shouldn't be any harm. And I mean, you're not going to see anything from a court case for at least a year. And then even that, if they owe money, I mean, they're not obligated to pay it unless they own property and it attaches to that. So
yeah, so I guess we may not get any hands on.
I would say still do the fundraiser. I mean, it sounds like it would be a fun event anyways. So even if the money ends up not being needed, it could go towards other things or more bridges or other projects in Peppercorn. Lots to do there.
Maybe a silent auction. Okay, we talked about stormwater. How about our tree policy?
Yeah, I can pull that up again. Mike had emailed this around a while back. I've not read it recently. So let's see. Pull up that. Mike, did you want to talk about this?
I really wasn't prepared to.
Okay, you're not prepared to.
No, no.
Do we have a copy of that? Did that sent out to us?
I will send it out. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I would like to read.
Okay.
You know, I think I haven't read this in a long time, so I may be misquoting something, but you know, I think simplistically, as I understand it, and jump in anyone, if a tree is healthy and has no obvious defects, and let's say that it's on your neighbor's property, it's on your neighbor's property, and it falls over in a storm and hits your garage, hits your car, your neighbor is not liable. If, however, there's a big, you know, half the tree is dead and there's a big, you know, dead branch leaning towards your property, and that branch falls and hits your car, your house, then the neighbor has liability for that. So, and I think probably go through this, and it's pretty much probably what it says. To me, those are probably the two most important type of situations that commission might run into is a tree on town land distressed and pose a risk to some abutting property. And then the town, the commission, I think, has liability for that tree. Once you know, so it's similar to what we're kind of doing at Sweet William Farm or Whitney Conservation Area with those trees. We have you know, 9 dead ash trees, most of them leaning to some extent, with dead branches over our trail. So to me, we've got liability there. We've realized the problem exists, talked about it. Even if we hadn't talked about it, we should have realized there's an issue there. So if something was to happen, the town would be liable.
That's what my insurance person said. So we'll read this and talk about it later. And we're 8:16, so it's time for,
Let's see.
Extension from 311-078 Culver Creek.
Okay, and Stephanie is here to talk about it. We don't really do a review of this, but this order of conditions was issued a while back. Culver's Creek. And I asked Stephanie to kind of give us an update on what's going on. They have 2 replication areas there. And they also, there's going to be a CR, and they have to install bounds. So there's a lot going on still on this property. And maybe Stephanie, I'll let you kind of explain where you are in terms of construction.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Stephanie Brusso, work for Blackbrook Realty. First, thank you for accommodating me later on the schedule. My husband works late and I have 2 young kids to put to bed, so this worked out really well. I appreciate it. But anyways, up at Culver's Creek, like Mary said, we're looking for an extension. On the order of conditions, the project at full build out is 59 homes plus 1 clubhouse. Right now, as it stands, we have 26 occupied units. Owner lived in, conveyed from us to a homeowner, third party. We also have 4 spec homes, 2 of which are model homes, and then three foundations. So roughly somewhere between 40 and 50% complete. The real estate market, unfortunately, has slowed down a bit. We've done a number of marketing efforts to keep things moving, but hopefully the winter weather hasn't helped either, but hopefully in the spring things will start to pick back up again. We do have two replication areas. Like Mary said, one of them, I believe, is the one on North Street. That one has been signed off on. There's a second one that's on the left-hand side of Shoemaker Lane when you drive in, kind of behind number 4 Shoemaker Lane. That one, we've had some difficulty getting growth in there. The plan is to have WW, who's our roadwork, site work contractor, come in the spring or once the snow melts, as the weather allows, strip that area, do replanting. We've used Jeff DiRigio from Sage Environmental in the past. The plan would be to continue to use him to do the reports and obtain that sign off. We're working on the conservation restriction wordage with Allen Engineering. We'll have something to propose. And then in terms of the bounds, we need to have, I believe, the bounds in before 10 homes or with at least 10 homes left in phase 2. Mary, I could have misspoken. Right now, we actually haven't even started on what conservation considers phase 2 of the project, but we've had Allen Engineering go ahead and start those bounds. All of them are done on the Shoemaker Lane, and they're working up Chickadee, which is the cross street that connects Shoemaker and Boot Shop. I'm not sure it makes sense to do the ones on Boot Shop, which would still be, as you guys consider it, phase 1. But that's the area where really the ongoing construction is. So it probably makes sense to do those at a later time as those units get completed. Because to be perfectly honest, when the guys are doing site work on the lots, they're not going to be overly careful of the bounds. So that's pretty much where we stand right now.
Yeah, it says that the bounds are supposed to go in before 10 units in phase 2 are occupied. And I don't believe you've even started building any of those phase 2 houses yet, right?
Correct. Yes, but we have started on the bounds.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, and then the CR is the same thing. Has to. We need a draft before those last 10 units. Yeah. And the replication areas, I believe, even the one in North Street, it may be like the environmental person may have said it looked good, but I think it needs a total of 4 reports, so they may need to do, just go back and check it, even though it looked good after like 1 year. So they might need a few more on that.
Okay, I'll check on that. Total of 4.
Total
Okay.
of 4, like it's supposed to be spring and fall for 2 years.
Okay.
And that goes for both monitoring areas.
Okay.
And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. There was one area that we looked at in the fall where there's erosion past the erosion control lines. I know they were planning on cleaning it up. They may have not gotten into it yet, but it wasn't huge. Everything's been looking pretty good with this project. So they want an extension. So they want an extension for 3 years. Okay, we've made.
Yeah, move to grant an extension for 3 years.
So moved.
Second,
To a voice vote, press I.
Tom, I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
And I.
Marcella, I.
Mike, aye.
It's unanimous vote of the commission. And Mary, what did that for you?
Chris, could I say something about
Sure.
toddlers? I just want this is Mike from the commission. I know you mentioned that Alan would be working on the CR. I don't know how much experience they have with CRs, but they should be working off a model CR that the Department of Conservation Services has. And, we can help with that to some extent. The other thing is there's a section of the conservation restriction called conservation values. And in my experience, you're going to get much higher quality information in that section if you rely on a natural resources professional like an ecologist or wildlife biologist or a forester, even someone like that to write that part of the CR rather than necessarily an engineer. So it's just my 2 cents on that.
Okay,
And,
appreciate it. Thank you.
We're a long way from that, quite a ways from that. But and then also there will be a requirement for a baseline report, but I wouldn't start that work until all the bounds are in and a fair number more of the units are constructed.
Okay.
So
All right, Jeff.
thank you.
Yeah, so I think Stephanie, anyone else have any questions for Stephanie? Okay, thank you so much for coming on board and hope you have a peaceful hobby.
Thank you.
And I think, yeah, that's it for documents to sign. Okay.
So, good. Anything else to discuss?
Think about closing that.
Okay, motion to close the hearing.
I think it wasn't officially a hearing.
Oh, it wasn't.
It's just an extension.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
Call it a-
Wait, but you guys did motion to issue the extension.
right.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved. Second. I.
Alan.
Sandy.
Aye.
So,
And then I.
Something for the game before